All right. Says I'm live. My mic is not muted this time, so let me know if you guys can hear me. So there's about 80 people waiting in chat. Appreciate y'all being here. Make sure you leave a like on your way in. Let everyone roll in, say our hellos. Let me pop the chat out. Get my sheet up here so I can reference stuff I'm talking about. All right, I think we are good. What's up, John? Good morning, Chris. Who wins this race? I would say, it's a boring answer. I would say Kyle Larson. If you're looking to get a little bit spicier, I would say William Byron. I know earlier in the week he was plus 1,200, which is kind of insane odds. I'm not sure what it's at now. After being the fastest car in practice, I'm sure that is probably closer to, someone can let me know in the chat. I have to double check that, but I'm sure the odds are definitely not as juicy anymore. But yeah, we're here talking the Pennzoil 400 at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Should be a good race today. Hopefully not a wreck fest like it was last week at Auto Club. But as far as watching the cars in practice and qualifying, seemed like they were able to keep it together a lot more than what they did in Auto Club. So don't think it'll be too much of an issue today. What's up, Amir? What's up, Sincere? Let's see how many flat tires we will have. Hopefully not a ton. It sucks when they get a flat tire. That's like the worst thing right now. Absolutely kills your race, and that shouldn't be the case. Morning, Andre. What's up, Rowdy Dorito? Morning, Chris. Let's get this money. Let's try to. And your man Rowdy's going to be pretty popular today. Pretty popular, starting all the way in the back. I'm sure he'll be definitely a big discussion point today with the parts car he has from Hamlin, but we'll get into that in a little bit. Let's see. Got my wrenchman here, Duke. Got Andy. Yes, Andy is awake above noon. It's definitely a rare sight to see. Let's see. Okay. FE says, happy race day, CP. Did anyone give Andy a wake-up call? Andy is here, and he says, Twitter link to the DK contest is pinned at the top if you'd like to get in. Yeah, we got about, 20-some spots left, so if you want to join, pin comment, or I can have either Dude or Andy, one of the wrenchmen, send the link in the chat, join, and fill up the 150. Should be too hard to do there, so appreciate everyone that joins. Let's see. Spreads here. Good morning, Spread. Chase says, prize picks I have under 66.5 for Larson, under Kyle Busch, 59.5. Joey over 42.5, Hendrick over 23.5, and Denny Hamlin over 39.5. What you think, CP King? So personally, I have Larson over 66.5. Joey, I like the over. Hendrick's going to be close, like the Denny over. So I think we're pretty much similar there. But I do like the Larson over. I just think he dominates this race and probably ends up winning or coming top 3, which should be good enough. But I did like that Larson over, I believe, 59.5 as his lap sled prop. Not sure if that's changed since last night. Because I know it tends to change quite a bit in the morning. So I usually try to get them in as soon as they get popped up. Let's see. What's up, Brian? Heat fan in Discord. What's up, Travis? Paper says let's take down, fellas. Let's do it. I like this race day. I like the way you can construct lineups. And I think there's a couple good ways to get in tournaments, too. What's up, Andrew? Good morning, Baldy. Good morning, Chris. Is it morning? Yeah, 11:30. It's still morning. Hoping to find some time for the pool today. It's going to be 90-something. Maybe I'll just bring the laptop down there and watch the race. It's going to be a beautiful day down here in South Florida. Chase says, fade Kyle and Kyle, anti-Kyle. I can't say I agree with you today. All right, he says, let's hit that like button. Not sure about you, but he knows a heck of a lot more about NASCAR than me. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, leaving a like helps me out. I think we had nearly, when it was all said and done, almost 400 likes on the live stream video last week, which is insane. Hopefully we can get like 100 plus when we are live here. Sounds good, good. Good morning, NASCAR junkies. What's up, Jared? Andre, yep. Juliana's here. Lovely girlfriend. Nice to always have you. What is up, Don? Excited about today. Thanks for doing the live chat. Yeah, just here to hang out with you guys, answer all the questions you got. I mean, if you want an in-depth breakdown, got the preview video I posted last night. Kind of just here to chill, answer questions, and have a good time before the race starts. Hopefully we can get some good information to build lineups here. Mobiga says, morning, my friend. We fading Busch. I'm not saying I'm fading Busch. I do like both Bushes today. I'm going to have around 40% of both. Now, it is interesting to be underweight on Kyle Busch in tournaments. I think if you're playing cash games today, you got to play Kyle Busch. I know I was maybe just a little bit hesitant in my preview video, but the more I thought about it, and once I ran projections, if he gets like a P11 today, P11, P12 with a couple fast laps mixed in, he's going to get you around 60 points, which in cash games, he doesn't need to get like 100. So I would personally pair Larson with Kyle Busch in cash today. and then just kind of fill in the PD guys like Kurt Busch and like the Cole Custers, Justin Haley's of the world. But yeah, I'm team Kyle Busch in cash today. In tournaments, yeah, there's many other good plays like Ryan Blaney's right there, Denny Hamlin, William Byron. So not a must play in tournaments, but if you're playing cash, I do like them a lot. Spread says best in the game. Appreciate it, Spread. Appreciate it. T-Y says sleepers for fantasy league picks. How does scoring work for fantasy league picks? Is that like on the NASCAR app? I have no idea, to be honest. Not sure how that works. C. Austin says, I love how you guys are assuming Andy even went to bed. That is true. Andy's probably hasn't slept yet. He'll sleep the entire Monday and Tuesday away, though, if he hasn't slept. John says, thanks for the winning pick last week. Oh, yeah. We had Kyle Larson last week. Not that was a hot take or anything, but I'm glad it worked out. You and Jules have a wonderful race day. Thank you, John. Same to you. Same to you. Ryan says, hey, Chris. Hey, Ryan. What's up? Top 2 turning plays. I like Reddick and Byron a lot. Although, unfortunately, I think William Byron is now going to be close to like 35% owned. Like, early in the week, I'm thinking, okay, I bring it Willie B. He crashed at 10% last week. It's a similar setup. Maybe he's like 12 to 15% owned. Well, I think Willie B, after practice, for where he's starting, his price point, and I'm pretty sure everyone's talking about him, so I think Willie B is going to be pushing 30-some%. So I hate to call him a tournament play now because I think everybody gets the idea. But heading into the week, my tourney plays were going to be Byron and Reddick. But if you want to exclude Byron because the ownership's going to be pretty high, I think Reddick and Bowman kind of similar to last week. I feel like a lot of the guys I like this week are very similar to last week, so I just want to plug and play people from last week. That's fine. What's up, Mass? They've been waiting in here forever. Took a while. John says, who's your favorite large field GPP low cost play on FanDuel? Oh boy. Well, I still got to do my FanDuel lineups, but I mean, Hendrick at $4,500 is not going to get a ton of looks. Harrison Burton kind of in the same boat. Justin Haley last week on FanDuel was what, 5% owned, and he was absolutely smashing. Obviously got spun at the end, so kind of killed your day a little bit, but I think like the group of 3 right there, that cheap price, $4,000, $5,000 is a good spot for the low dollar guys. Let's see. Hot Wing says, let's kick the tires and let the fires. Be careful kicking those tires, they might go flat. They go flat very easily. Blake says, morning Chris, morning Blake. Are you doing a FanDuel contest again this week, or is that a one-time thing? I am doing them once again. I actually really like FanDuel. I like the setup. One of the tournaments over there, it's like a $2.22 entry, 150 max. And the payout's actually really good. I think it's like $1,500 to first, $750, $500. It's like a really nice payout structure, and it pays out around 25% of the people. So I'm in that contest right now, and I'm looking to join some single entries. So we'll see what happens. But I'm liking the FanDuel contest over there. And the lineup construction, honestly, pretty easy this week. You can easily fit in 3 studs plus a Kurt Busch, and then throw in like a Haley or like a Custer at the end, and you can make some pretty solid lineups. Brian says, I like Bowman for GPPs. I do too. I like Bowman quite a bit. And he is right beside Kurt Busch, right beside Kevin Harvick, and those two are definitely going to get more ownership, so I'm hoping that really pushes him out a little bit. Plus, Christopher Bell is going to gain some ownership just because he's on the pool, and I think Bowman's in a really good spot for tournaments today. Joe says, good morning, Chris. Good morning, Joe. Joined Prize Picks this week and cleaned up yesterday on Xfinity race. Nice. Thoughts on providing over-under data? So, Joe, I do have the Prize Picks projections on the sheet. That's something I try to keep for the Patreon members. But, I mean, just off the top of my head, I think one of my favorite ones was the Byron over today and the Kurt Busch over, as far as fantasy points goes. Those are 2 I'm looking at. Although I feel like every over I like a lot, the guys crash. So hopefully that streak will end. We need these guys to have a clean race because it was looking good last week besides Eric Jones, which I don't want to talk about. So hopefully these guys can have a clean race and actually hit. Spread says, Andy doesn't sleep, he's a vampire. I'm convinced. He never does sleep. Him and Tito. Josh says, thoughts on DK Cash, Larson, Busch, Haley, Suarez, and Buscher. I think that's really solid. I think right now I have like 5 out of those 6. I think we're only different on Suarez. Suarez $7,900. I think I might have went. Who did I go instead? Was it Custer? Oh yeah, it was Custer. 60. Couldn't find him. $6,700. I think I went Custer instead, but it's kind of a toss up between him and Suarez. I just think Custer will be higher owned, so it's kind of feel like there was added safety there. Robert says top 3 favorite tournament plays. Well, kind of the guys I mentioned, like Reddick, Byron, Bowman. Those guys really stand out to me today. Sean Traylor, the $1 Million Man, is here, just popping in. Go Byron. Yeah, we're both pretty heavy on Byron. We've been talking about it all week. Unfortunately, he's going to be pretty chalky, so all I'm doing is bumping up my ownership, my exposure even more, just to try to get more leverage on the field. But I'm pretty high on Byron today. Amazing in practice, amazing at these track types. I just don't see why he's not going to be fast today. Starting 14th, it's going to be hard for him to fail. Hard for him to. I have more William Byron than Kyle Busch today. Going to take a stance. I'm still a lot of Kyle Busch, but I just have a lot of William Byron. Going to have a lot of Byron on both sides. Wisco Casey says, please tell me that's not a Chicago Cubs shirt. Oh, I'd never wear a Cubs shirt. I hate the Cubs. Ever since they, on Game 7 World Series versus the Indians, they beat me on my birthday. So that was not a fun birthday when they beat me. But this is a Florida shirt. I don't even like Florida, but I live here. So Hunter gave it to me in the chat. So I figured I'd wear it. Obi says, happy fun day, y'all. What's good, Chris? What's up, Obi? Definitely fun day. Love Sundays. Sincere says, do you think Kyle Busch backup car is a lawnmower engine? Oh, geez. I mean, it's a parts car from Hamlin. It had Hamlin's name on it. They got the wrap on it last night, very late. I think he'll be okay. I mean, I think he can compete for a top 15, top 10. As far as dominating goes, that's probably not going to be the case, but he doesn't need to dominate. At 10,200, starting dead last. Like, if I'm looking at the heat map here, let me pull it up. I know you guys can't see the spreadsheet, but so if Kyle Busch finishes P13, we're looking at 54 points, and that's without any dominator points whatsoever. And you have to think at some point he's going to get a couple fast laps mixed in there. If he finishes P10, we are looking at 61 points. I mean, he's got such a safe floor. So even if he doesn't have the top car today, which I'm not expecting him to, as long as he's like top 15, he's not going to kill you today. So I have no problem with Kyle Busch. Just don't expect him to lead laps. And if he does, I mean, just icing on the cake for you. Yes, still need to come to Daytona. I know. It's just hard because I got to do live streams, and I hear the internet at tracks is not something to be trusted. So I think I'd have a hard time going to a race, to be honest. Flight Demon says, thanks for the info. You're welcome. Hopefully it's good info. Tommy says, thoughts on Reddick? Like Reddick a lot. Not scared of the price bump. He was arguably the best car last week. I don't see why he can't be fast once again. I mean, he doesn't even have to come out and lead like he was last week. If he finishes top 3 with some fast laps mixed in there, yeah, you'd want a little bit more from that $9,300, but I still think he's a very solid play. And I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he came out and dominated. I mean, we saw it last week, and he has a fast car. We saw that in practice. So I'm definitely still on Tyler Reddick, planning on being overweight on the field. David says, Kyle Busch being scored from 37th. Right. Yep, that is correct. He is starting dead last, and I'll make a qualifying run after destroying his rear in practice. The spread says they could be joy, so Andy doesn't look bad. That is true. Jeremy says, what's up, Chris? Happy Sunday. What's up, Jeremy? Happy Sunday to you as well. JT Falcon says, going crazy for Byron today. Got a little bit more of him than Larson. I don't even blame you. I love Byron today. I know since I love him so much, he's going to wreck once again, but if he just has a clean race, I don't see how he doesn't crush today. I just don't see how he doesn't crush. He's in such a good spot. Optimizer loves him. Projections love him. Natalie says, good morning. Good morning, Natalie. I know you like Byron, Chris, but what about Bowman? I like Bowman too. Bowman's going to be a lot lower owned than Byron, at least in my opinion. I think we see him like around 20%, maybe a little bit lower than that. I don't think he's going to get a ton of steam with Kurt Busch right there. Plus, a lot of people are going to be playing Byron, Busch, and Larson up top. But Bowman's a good play for sure. He's fast in practice too. Someone I'm planning to be overweight on. Plus, it's hard not to bet on the Hendrick cars. It really is. And someone told me that the Hendrick cars get like $2,000 for the Ukraine thing for each lap they lead. So that's a good narrative today. I mean, I just don't see how they don't dominate. Where are we at? Something Wrong says yes. Yes. Jay Wall says, hey man, Bell has shown a lot of speed this weekend, but starting pull out on risk reward there. Yeah. Bell's definitely risky today. I am personally planning on being underweight. It can't be overweight on everybody, so Bell's going to get the the chop for me. I'm still playing some Bell, but if, let's just say, for example, he's going to be 20% owned, I'd probably come in around 10%. I just think Kyle Larson's going to get there at some point. You have Chase Elliott right there, Ryan Blaney, even Joey Logano, Denny Hill. He's got a lot of good cars right behind him, even Tyler Reddick. I think Bell will have a solid day, real life-wise, but if he doesn't lead a good chunk of stage one, he's going to be in trouble as far as being optimal goes. Like we saw that with Austin Cindric, where, yeah, he should have a decent race day, but for where he's starting, it does make him a tough play. I'm a little bit more comfortable playing Bell than I am Cindric on the pole, but I'm just having a hard time getting a ton of Bell. Yes, I know he was fast in practice, but he's got a real tough task trying to keep Kyle Larson away on the front row with him. Lauren says all in on Ryan Blaney today. He was really fast in practice, starting 11th. I like Blaney quite a bit. Great play on FanDuel. Really good tournament play over on DraftKings, starting 11th. I like him quite a bit. Chase says, Chris Bros, did you see your other DFS by the numbers? Lost like 50 pounds. Dude is looking good. Yeah. Yeah, he said he's planning on losing 100. He's going for 100 pounds. He works out like 3 hours a day. He is crazy. But yeah, he's looking really good. Andrew says, what's the best way to approach the FanDuel slate? Is it different from DraftKings? Thanks, Chris. It's not too much different. Place differential is not as important over on FanDuel, but when I was crunching lineups, I'm pretty much getting the same plays. Ton of Kyle Larson, ton of Kyle Busch, ton of Ryan Blaney, ton of William Byron. It's basically like the same thing. I'm kind of like getting like 3 studs and then like a Kurt Busch or something like that, and then like one of these cheaper guys in the majority of my lineups. So I just got a super chat from Spread once again. Always appreciate Spread, always donating. Thank you very much. CP Mafia loves you. Thank you, Spread. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Yes says we really need to do a NASCAR Fantasy Live League. Is that like on the NASCAR app? I think I've heard of it. I've never played it before. Mo Biga says, so can someone explain the post-qualifying on DraftKings? So I'll be honest, I don't look at that. I don't plan on playing it. I don't plan on really talking about it. But they do updated salaries once we know starting spots, because they release the salaries now before the starting spots are released without the lineup formula this year. And I just think it's kind of dumb, to be honest. I remember the last time, like when they changed the pricing, it was even worse. So I haven't looked at it yet. I mean, if you want to give me some salaries for it, I can kind of talk about it, but I really don't have much interest at all in the post-qualifying thing. I wish DraftKings would just get rid of it and focus on the main slate. Minjebs here, he says Briscoe. So in my video, I don't think I really talked Briscoe up much, but I ended up playing a little bit more Briscoe than what I thought. I think he's going to be close to like 8 to 10% owned. I don't mind being even on the field there. I just think with the expected added parity in the cars, and he did look good last week. I know the finish wasn't there, but starting fourth, there's a chance he could pull like an Eric Jones last week. So I'll have a little bit of Briscoe. Chase says, last week I turned the race off, was in the 121 single entry. I had Kyle. He got all of them laps back somehow and ended up, yeah, if you had Kyle last week, that was a wild ride. Started off, just absolutely died, like 5 or 6 laps down, and somehow finished, what was it, P13 for Kyle last week? Let me check. Or P14, which was not expecting. So that was definitely really nice for the lineups. Massey says, did we get a Jules appearance today? I'm not sure. She's here. She's back from Ohio. She is sick though, so I'm not sure if she wants to pop in. But that is up to her if she wants to pop in. Don says, I read a lot of picking Elliott today. What are your thoughts? I like Elliott today. The problem with me getting too much Elliott is that he is $11,000, and I like Kyle Larson a lot. I like Blaney a lot. I like Kyle Busch. I like Byron. So I can't get a ton of him. I'm looking to try to get around 20%, which I think is a fair number. And he was obviously very fast last week. If he didn't have any issues, he could have dominated that race and won for sure. But the price is just a little bit steep. I like him more than Joey, though. I like him more than Hamlin in that price range. Rich says, which dominators do you like besides Larson and Byron? Well, I like Elliott, like I just talked about. I like Ryan Blaney. I like Tyler Reddick. And I'm not sure if I'm going to count Kyle Busch as a dominator today. He's more of a PD guy. But I would say Elliott, Blaney, Tyler Reddick are the guys that I think could definitely do some damage. Jeremy says Stenhouse. Stenhouse is in a tough spot today, but He showed speed early on last weekend, starting in 9th place. He is purely a tournament play. People are going to play Eric Jones more. People are going to play Suarez more. People are going to play Custer, Buescher a lot more. So he's definitely going to go low owned. And he can certainly have some speed. So I don't hate Stenhouse, but I am not getting to him much in my builds. Sorry, I lost the chat for a second. Okay, dude says DraftKings locks at 347, FanDuel locks at 330 today. Thanks for the reminder, dude. I always forget that FanDuel locks early, and I forgot one week. I forget when that was, but I forgot FanDuel locked early. I got 0 lineups in at 150. That was not fun. And he says, are the cheap guys more playable now with teams trying to figure out the new car? So I know what you mean. Like last week, a lot of these scrubs ended up having some pretty decent finishes. Let me check exact finishes. Like, yeah, Garrett Smithley finished P21, BJ McLeod P22. It was a high attrition race, so I don't want to put too much into that. Like, these guys are certainly, I think, more live than they are most weeks now compared to last year. But if it's not going to be a wreck fest and a bunch of cautions, I don't really see those guys getting too much ground. Pugsley says, what's up, everyone? What's up, Pugsley? Another great weekend of racing on the way. Hopefully. Should be a good race today. I like this slate a lot. Michael says, new to NASCAR DFS, how much salary is typically left on the table? So, Michael, that's going to change every single week, because if we were at a track like Daytona or Talladega, you could leave up to $10,000 to $20,000 on the table. If it's like a large oval track like this, 1.5 mile Las Vegas, probably not going to leave too much on the table. I would say, I'll pull up my optimizer really quick. I'm just going to crunch 20 really quick without any rules, and I'll look at the average salary used here and I'll let you know. But I can't imagine I'd be leaving much salary on the table for sure, because on a good expensive place today. So the average salary used in just 20 lineups, just not playing with settings at all, 49,600. So about 400 on the table on average just in those builds. So I wouldn't be leaving too much. Chris Davis says, Suarez, Ty Dillon, or Custer for last man in cash. I would go with Cole Custer there. I think he'll be the highest owned, so I'll just take the floor on that. Bowling Elf says, track depends on the track, and yeah, totally right. See, Austin says, I want to fight Andy. YouTube contest still has openings. Yeah, if you guys want to join the YouTube contest, it's in the pinned, what do you call that, pinned comment, pinned message. It's from me. If someone else wants to put in there, they can, but I think we have, I'm not sure exactly how many spots, but it shouldn't be too many. So just fill that up. Robert says, Bowman, Larson, Byron, Buescher, Jones, Haley for tournaments. It's pretty chalky, to be honest, but I mean, I like the lineup overall. Bowman's your good pivot in there, but even then he's going to be probably pushing around 20%. So it is chalky, but overall it's a lineup I do like quite a bit. John says, who was the best drive rating at this track? Mid-range? Let's find out. At this track specifically? Well, it would be Brad Keselowski, but that wasn't a Penske car. If you want to remove Keselowski, you got like Bowman, Kurt Busch, Austin Dillon as far as drive rating goes. Ricky Stenhouse and Eric Jones is up there as well, but a lot of that is in a different car for Eric Jones. I see my mom's here. My makeup looks great. Thank you very much. Go Logano. Logano is definitely quite the tournament play today. He's not going to have much ownership at that price point, but wouldn't surprise me if he has a good race. He's very good at here at Vegas. And if you like narratives, he's rocking the Pennzoil car today for the Pennzoil 400. Don says, I like Kurt more than Kyle today. Point per dollar wise, I like Kurt more than Kyle. I'm getting a lot of Kurt. Something Wrong says, I think he'll be in the top 10 stage 2 restart. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, Kyle should be fine today. Pugsley says, so my lineup is Larson, Byron, Buescher, Ty Dillon, Eric Jones, but I can't decide between Reddick or Kurt in tournaments. Oh boy. If it's a tournament, I mean, Kurt's a lot safer than Reddick, but Reddick has that dominator upside that I think Kurt doesn't have. So, kind of risk tolerance there. Aaron says, speaking a lawnmower man, who's the new 2022 lawnmower man? I don't know. I'm trying to decide on that. It's hard to... Who was slow last week? I mean, we could just give it to Bubba and call it a day. I mean, he's usually pretty slow. Not sure yet, though. We'll have to take a couple more races to figure that out. But the lawnmower year of Daniel Suarez, what was that, 2020, right? 2020? That was a fun year with Suarez. Chase says Eric Jones. I like Eric Jones. He burnt me last week. I didn't have any Eric Jones. I mean, he wasn't high owned, so it didn't like bury me, but I did not see him running up front the entire day. That was crazy. I mean, I like Eric Jones too, so hurt a little bit. But starting 23rd, I can definitely get more on board. Wayne says favorites outside Larson and Byron for GPP DraftKings. Blaney, Bowman, Reddick up top. We might like pivots off of those guys. Just get press credentials. If they want to give me press credentials, I'll be there. Sure, I'll go to. I'm not too far away from Miami Homestead, and Daytona's a bit of a trip, but if they want to give me press credentials, I'm there. QC says final thoughts on Kyle Busch. Sorry if you already covered this. Just joining, no problem at all. Yeah, I like Kyle Busch today if you're playing cash games and tournaments. I certainly like pivots to Ryan Blaney, William Byron, but if you're playing cash today, I'm getting Kyle Busch in there. I'm not going to overthink that. Best value play on single entry GPP on DraftKings. Best value play, I would say, if it's, you said GPP, yeah, GPP, I would go Daniel Hendrick there. Pretty fast car in practice, some top 10 speeds. Starting 16th, the price is a little bit too low for a guy that's got top 15 upside. I know he wasn't the best car last week, but he did finish P9. More of a survival of the fittest at the end there, but it is what it is. Still was top 10. Mike says, good morning, Chris. Good morning, Mike. Patrick says, is Byron okay to use in cash games? Yeah, you can play Byron in cash games. Now, if it's between him or Busch, I'm going to roll with Busch, but it's very tempting to go Byron. I have Byron projected higher than Busch, just raw points, but I do have Busch higher owned, projected. Still confident Kyle Busch. I mean, at that price point, he's just pretty much a cash game play for me. Kerry says 14 spots left in the group pool. Excellent. Okay, that should fill quite nicely. Yeah, if you haven't joined the contest yet, should be like 10 spots left. If you want to join, it's link above or link down below somewhere. Someone has the link. Just ask for it. Nate says low price punt play on FanDuel. Hendrick, I mean, $4,500 is just really cheap. Finishing position, more important than place differential. So even if you lost some spots, it's not going to be a huge deal. But he has top 15 upside this week. So, I mean, Daniel Hendrick is kind of standing out to me. Harrison Burton's in the same boat, Justin Haley as well, and Chris Buescher. But I do like Haley quite a bit. Time says, so Kyle Busch no good in tournaments? Well, I wouldn't say he's no good. I'm still going to have like 40-some% ownership to Kyle Busch in tournaments today. I'm just saying he's not like a 60% play for me today. Like typically if Kyle Busch is in the very back starting dead last at 10,200, I'm probably all in, but there's some other players I like. So I'd just say limit it a little bit because I don't want you to like completely nuke your Ryan Blaney or William Byron exposed just to get a ton of Kyle Busch, and he's probably not going to dominate today. See, Austin says, yes, we love our C-Pen. Appreciate it. You guys rock. Love the community we have here. Robert says, Blaney, Bowman, Byron, Reddick, Ty Dillon, Haley, and Turney's. Yeah, that's fine. Fine with me. You got Blaney, you got Bowman, you got Reddick. Definitely a good way to go in tournaments. Yes says, thoughts on Almirola? I know he's been optimal the past two races, starting 20th. It's fine. I'm not getting a lot of Almirola myself. It's just the way my builds are looking. He's not really just getting put in there too much. Fine PD play, though, but I'm not a big fan. Oh, I see Tito left the dono. Appreciate that, Tito. Kyle Busch, Las Vegas. It's a Discord joke. We were in there till like 3:30 last night talking the slate. Don says 4,000 range. Anybody worth using for my last spot? I wouldn't play any of these guys. If I had to play one, I guess I'll just play McLeod. But all these guys are just terrible plays in my opinion. Gotta get lucky with some wrecks. Dude says, you demand spread? Spread is indeed the man. Obi says, thoughts on Jones? Is he worth fostering today? I'm going to assume you mean rostering. Yeah, I like Jones today quite a bit, starting in 23rd. I think he's good for around 20-some% exposure in your lineups today. Should have, I mean, he was super fast last week. I don't think that's just going to disappear. I know it's weird in the 43 car with Petty, but I just don't think that speed's going to just disappear randomly throughout the week. So I can definitely get behind some Jones again. Blake says, am I fading Chastain on FanDuel because of the cheap price and ownership percentage? I'm not really fading going my way to fade Chastain. He's gonna fit in my lineups at $5,500. Like, he's pretty cheap over there compared to a lot of guys. Like in this price range, you got like compared to DraftKings, all these guys are in the 7 to 8K range for the most part, besides a couple guys. So I think Chastain's a fine play over on FanDuel. I haven't built my FanDuel lineups yet though, so I'm not exactly sure what they're gonna look like. I'll try to crunch some lineups. I'll answer some questions and I'll let you know what they look like. But I know they're not looking too far off of my DraftKings builds. Mike says, am I crazy to full out fade Kyle in 20 lineups? Then he says Kyle Busch, not Larson. You might be a little bit crazy. Kyle Busch is a really good play today. I know with the parts car, it's a little bit scary, but it's still Kyle Busch starting to last at Las Vegas, so I wouldn't full fade him. I'd get some lineups in there because he could easily end your day. And if you happen to get up front, you're just not going to have a good day. Wayne says, 5K studs on DraftKings GPP. Are you going to, I assume you mean scrubs, are you going to take any 5K players in your lineups? Yeah, I like quite a bit of these 5K guys. You have Burton, Hendrick, Ty Dillon, like Michael McDowell, Joy Gillen. I mean, all these guys are good cheap plays to round out your lineups that you can fit in the studs. So yeah, I have a lot of exposure actually to the 5K range just to fit in those like Larson, Busch, or Byron builds. Okay, I'm looking at a FanDuel crunch, just 150 lineups, no settings. Ton of Byron, ton of Kurt, ton of Kyle Busch. A lot of Haley, a lot of Larson. Where's Ross Chastain in here? Chastain I didn't get much of, but again, that's without touching the settings. So I'm sure if I nuke some guys, I'd probably get like 10 to 15% Chastain. So just taking a look at that. OG says, is there a specific lineup construction you prefer to leverage the field in GPPs? Nothing really specific in the construction, but if you're playing tournaments, I mean, just fading one of Larson or Kyle Busch is definitely a good way to get leverage because a lot of people are going to start their lineups with that. Hello. She's on the balcony, scared me. Amir says, let's get this money this Sunday morning. I totally agree, Amir. Totally agree. Mike says, I already answered that. So Busch not a good play today. No, I'm not saying Busch is not a good play today. Aaron, I have quite a bit of Kyle Busch. Something wrong says, confident Kyle starting 37th because he always finds his way up front. He tends to find his way there. Aaron says, I think McDowell is getting overlooked at his price. Where about would he have to finish to at least get his value, like top 20? So looking at the heat map, I think McDowell is not a bad play today. I do have a decent amount. So for him to get, let's say like 22 points, he needs to get a 21st place finish. For him to get 25 points, he needs a 20th place finish, which is certainly possible. So I don't hit McDowell today. Spread says, we missed you, Jeb. Yeah, for sure. We definitely missed you in the Discord. Juliana says, I can't get in the door. Oh, the door is locked? I did not know that. I will unlock the door. I have no idea. I guess that would explain why she hasn't visited. Shay says, Gillen love? Yeah, I like Ty Dillon. Or, not Ty Dillon. Todd Gillen. Todd Gillen. $5,000 starting 30th. He had a good finish last week. In a front row car, similar to Michael McDowell. If he can pop you a top 25, I mean, starting 30th at 5K is not that bad at all. And he allows you to fit in some studs up top. Pugsley says, so far tournaments, I have Larson, Byron, Bowman, Dillon, Buscher, and Ty Dillon in my lineup. How do we feel? I think that's totally fine. Austin Dillon is definitely quite the tournament play day. If you have Austin Dillon in your lineup, I think you're contrarian enough, so don't mind that at all. Starting P10, $8,000, typically a top 15 machine at these types of tracks. I know it's tough to get there, $8,000 for where he's starting, but I think he is a fine play. Dude says, where was in the optimal last year? How low can we go for this race? I mean, personally for me, I don't want to go below Gilliland. Like, yeah, some of these scrubs could pop in there, but the likelihood of it is not worth it for me. Sorry, my chat went all the way down. Bill says, what's up, man? Just joining. Thoughts on Austin Dillon? Usually solid at these tracks. I just got talking about that, so hopefully that answered your question there. De Palma says, Ware and Kyle Busch have 90-point upside combined. I mean, yeah, most of that's coming from Kyle Busch, though. He's going to have to lead laps. Brian says, everybody clear on inspections? You guys got to let me know the inspection news, because as of right now, I have no idea because I'm not on Twitter. But I know it's only, 9 o'clock in Vegas, so hopefully we'll get some of the information on that soon. Chase says, Gillen love, just talked about that. Time says, bro, the optimizer shows a lot of Kyle Busch. Is that a good thing? Yes. I like Kyle Busch today. Hopefully I've driven that point across that I do like Kyle Busch today. I'm just saying in tournaments there's other plays you can get to, but I'm still playing a lot of Kyle Busch. Pugsley says, or should I drop the Gillen and move Buescher for Jones? No, I think that's fine how you had it. I mean, if you want to do that, that's fine too. There's, I unlocked the door, so she made an appearance. Sorry about that. Hopefully she can bring us some good luck today. Massey says, Blaney, Pennzoil narrative too? You don't have to give me much to want to play Blaney. That's for sure. I know you're the same way, Mass. David says, last spot single to GPP on DK. If you had only 5,500 left, who would you choose? If it's a tournament, 5,500 left, if it's a tournament, I'm probably getting the McDowell there. I see Spread donated again. Let Jules in the house. I had no idea the door was locked. I feel so bad. Let's talk. America says, I took Kurt Busch, Joey Logano, Hamlin, Daniel Hemrick, Bubba, and Austin Dillon. Thoughts? It's a very contrarian lineup. I don't think anyone's playing Joey today. Hamlin's going to be decently low owned. Bubba's going to be low owned. Austin Dillon. So yeah, I mean, if you're playing tournaments, it's definitely a flyer for sure. Zone DOS says, my early season bet is Gillen for lawnmower driver. It could happen. It could happen for sure. Spread says, Chris, Jules is about to come to the window, not a robber. I wish I was so far behind in the chat. I would have knew why she was on the balcony tapping on the window. Jay Wall says, do you trust Hemrick starting 16th? Looked like he's shown some speed. Yeah, I like Hemrick today. I plan on being pretty overweight on Hemrick in tournaments. Fringe cash play, but he is going to have some ownership today for sure. Jason says, hey Chris, how are you, man? What's up, Jason? Doing well. I want to put 1,500 on Larson to win and Joey top 3. What do you think? Larson wins, right? Should talk myself out of it. What do you think? I mean, if I had to bet any money on someone winning today, it's going to be Larson. If I don't put it on Larson, I'm putting it on Byron. Those are the two I feel pretty confident in. So I'm not going to try to talk you out of it. But I do think Larson is definitely the smart play. But he's pretty much the smart play every week. Bill says, would you go Hemrick or Ty Dillon? I would go Hemrick. I think there's more upside there. Clay says, so playing Kyle Busch in tournaments is a bad play. No. I like Kyle. I'm playing Kyle Busch in tournaments today. I have around 40-some% Kyle Busch. I'm just saying there's other good plays you can play as well. Don't go 60-70% on Kyle Busch just because starting in the back. There's other guys like William Byron, Ryan Blaney that I like quite a bit. Do drop in the contest link. Let me see how full we are in the contest. We are at, it's full. Awesome. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you very much. I think we probably did 200 again. So we'll have to see what I do next week. It was better than the 100 I did last week. That felt way too quick. But appreciate everyone joining the contest. Always fun playing with you guys. Nason says, Bowman a good pivot off of Kurt Busch and Harvick and GPPs. Yeah, for sure. That's my same thought process on Bowman today. I think he's an excellent pivot off of those guys. David says, I remember you from your baseball videos back in Ohio. Remember the night your dog was barking and you stopped the video to see what he was barking about? Man, that's a throwback, David. I appreciate you watching since then. I was in a basement making those videos. But yeah, I remember that night. I still don't know what he was barking at. Probably a deer. But yeah, it's quite the memory. A lot has changed since then. Easy says, Mama Pennell a Joey fan? Yeah, unfortunately. She used to be a Jeff Gordon fan. Now she's a Logano fan. Clay says nothing about Kevin Harvick. I think Harvick's okay today, $9,100. I just don't think he's going to have much speed. Like, he was slow last week. I know the finish he got there, finished P7, but he was not a P7 car last week, I'll tell you that. Yeah, I know, good history at Vegas, but practice was just okay. 21st in the 5 lap, 15th in the 10 lap, 9th in the 15 lap. Like, I could just see him riding around like P15 all day, and I just want a little bit more than that. Still have some, but I'm trying to be underweight on Harvick. Steel Curtain says Suarez a decent tournament play. Yeah, he's fine. Suarez was my guy last week. I'm not as high on him as I was. He's just not as cheap, and he's going to be a little bit higher owned. But Suarez was the guy last week. Not so much this weekend, but starting 21st, should compete for a top 15. I think Suarez is fine. Jim says, hi, Chris. Hi, Jim. Thoughts on Jones and Custer? Like both quite a bit. Could play both in cash games or tournaments. That is fine with me today. Andrew says, how about Kurt Busch at 31st? I like Kurt a lot. Going to be one of my highest owned drivers today. Just have a hard time seeing him not smash. Spread says, go bang on Windows, scare him to death. Oh, he says, thanks, you're welcome. Robert says, any locks today? Kyle Larson. Dakota says, cash is Kyle Busch. A lock or fade. If you're playing cash today, I'd be playing Kyle Busch. For sure. Unless you mean Kurt Busch, I would say yes to both. I am playing. If you're playing cash today, I hope you like the Bushes because you're playing Kyle Busch, you're playing Kurt Busch, and you're also playing Chris Buescher more than likely. Franchise says, had Byron Reddick last week. Rip. It's so sad too. I did too. And they were the nuts. They were 1-2. They were running very strong, and they were definitely the right plays. You just can't predict guys wrecking into each other and whatnot. Sucks, but it is what it is. Natalie says, you seem to like Briscoe, but think Bell is too risky. Did I get that right? What about slow pit crew issues with Blaney? No, I have more Bell than I have Briscoe today. I just think Briscoe, I wasn't a big fan of Briscoe in my preview video, but I'm starting to grow on him a little bit in case he pulls on Eric Jones. But I have more Bell than I have Briscoe, but they're not too far off. But if I had to pick between the two, it's certainly going to be Bell for me because at least he's in a spot to dominate early on, while Briscoe probably not going to get up front, but could pick up some fast laps and finish like top P6. De Palma says Kyle Busch should be 80% owned. This is Vegas. Well, I don't think he should be 80% owned because then Kyle Larson's going to be under owned, then William Byron's going to be under owned. I think, personally, I think he's going to be in the low 40s as far as ownership goes, maybe touch the mid 40s. We'll see. But I don't think he's going to get over 50% in like the big tournament today. Got another dono. Appreciate it. Jason's won $7,500 last week thanks to your great content. Thank you. Oh, it's awesome, Jason. Glad to hear that. Yeah, I think I remember your comment on Patreon, so I do appreciate that. Thank you very much. Glad you had a fantastic week. Hopefully you can do that once again. Blake says over 300 watching and 100 likes. Like the stream. Yeah, if you were here, leave a like on the stream or just help me out. Hopefully we can get it around 200. Would be absolutely awesome. Andre said, Jake says, did you just get flashed? Can you confirm I did not? Eric says, first Sunday after joining your Patreon, so pumped. Oh, it's awesome, Eric. Yeah, I remember you messaged me on Instagram. Hopefully everything goes well for you today. If you have any questions, please let me know. And feel free to join the Discord if you haven't. Big Order says, have you said anything about Truex yet? I have not gotten one Truex question. So I think that reflects my ownership projection of him being pretty low owned today. Truex has not been a guy to play the large ovals in a while. I mean, in the past, yeah. If it's a 1.5 mile track, we are playing Truex. Nowadays, if it's not a short, flat track, I really don't play Truex. Really, that's been the case for me. Harvick thoughts? He's an okay play. I think he's going to come in low 20s to mid 20% ownership today. I don't mind being underweight on that. I just don't think he's going to have top of the line speed. I'd rather play Kurt, rather play Bowman, rather play Reddick. So Harvick's kind of I think he's the guy to go underweight on. I just don't think he's going to bring that speed. It's not like he was fast last week either. Marcus says, what's good, Chris? Happy race day. LFG. I agree, Marcus. Let's go. Hopefully you have a great race day today. Spread says, how much do we really believe this is a parts car? It's a Gibbs backup for all teams. Well, that's why I'm not overly concerned about it. Like, I still think Kyle Busch is going to be good today. It's just hard not to like him starting 37th, and he's one of the most talented drivers in the field, and I think he'll be okay. I mean, obviously, it's not going to be as good as his car he brought. At least that's what you would assume, but at that price point, it's really hard to get away. Oh, he says lockout like MLB. I really hope they start playing soon. I enjoy doing the baseball content. But I think you mean because she was locked out, yeah. Yeah, hopefully baseball gets that together. Still says Haley or Hendrick straight up for GPP. I believe I have. Let me check my projections. I have. Where is Hendrick at? Okay, I have Haley just a couple points higher than Hendrick, so I guess if it's just straight up, I'll go with Haley there. See, over 355 watching. That's awesome. Do appreciate that. Make sure you leave a like if you haven't yet already. JT says only got 2% Logano 150. Need to boost that. Yeah, I kind of bumped up his projection on the optimizer just to get some Joey because I found out he was not getting any love whatsoever. And while I'm not a big fan of Joey today, I wanted some just because he's that guy that always screws me because I don't have any of them. So I bumped him up a little bit. I think, let's say, for example, he's going to be 12% owned. I'd like to at least get like 6 to 7%, so I don't want to be dead in the water. Chandler says, boss tells us 20% Kyle and then tells YouTube 40% Kyle. This is not true. This is not true. Wyatt says, hey Chris, any rules on no Bell and Larson together? I'm not personally doing that. If you want to limit it, I understand it because it might be hard for both of them to get optimal, but I typically am not one to only have one guy from the front row because I've seen it many times where two guys in the front row can certainly be optimal. And with Bell at his price point, if he can lead like half a stage one and hang around the top 5 all day and pick up some fast laps and Larson leads the rest of the race, they can both be optimal. So I don't want to screw myself out of it, but I understand it not being the most pretty thing on paper. Chase says, who are the best 2 dominators and should we start 2 doms single entry? Personally, for me, I like Larson and Byron the most as far as the doms go today. And if I'm playing single entry, I would have 2 doms. Don says, I'm a brunette and just figured it out on DK. All of my games today are in tournaments. I need to edit. So you're trying to play cash games today. I remember, I think you asked the question last week what the difference was. So yeah, cash games, double ups, head-to-heads, tournaments, the top heavy price structures. KB says, Chris, what's your take on Hendrick and Stenhouse in tournaments? I'd be more inclined to play Stenhouse over Hendrick. I think Hendrick's a great driver. He's going to be good in the future for sure. Just the starting spot's rough, starting 3rd. I liked him in the Osmo video. I didn't think he'd start top 5. I was hoping he'd kind of started like around 10th or 12th and $7,700. I'd be in on that. Problem is starting 3rd, I just don't think he's going to be able to gain upon that. I don't think he's going to dominate, and he's probably going to lose some spots. So I don't have a ton of interest in Hendrick. Stenhouse, he showed some speed early on last week. I think he has potential to stay within the top 10, so I'd rather play Stenhouse, but both are really not high on my radar today. Dude says no update on inspection yet, so hopefully we get that news soon. It would be a real shame if someone really good went to the back today. Franchise says Joey's an easy top 3. I don't know about easy. I mean, you got Larson, Byron, Elliott, Blaney, all these good cars there. I'm not sure it'll be easy, but he's certainly capable of it. Tim says no one's talking about Truex. Is he a play? Not really a play for me. The price is fine though, but I'm really not getting much Truex. I just don't think he's going to dominate today. If you're looking at how he did at large ovals since last season, like he can get good finishes, yeah, but he's averaging 4 laps led per race and 7 fast laps. I just can't see him being optimal. I just think other guys have much higher probability of dominating. And it's hard to see him being better than a Hendrick car. Robert says, thoughts on Hamlin? Hamlin is underpriced for how good he is at Vegas. I realize people might have some concerns with how Toyotas were last week with their overheating issues. I don't think it's going to be an issue this weekend. Starting 8th at $10,000. He's a fine turn play. Like Byron's going to be much higher owned. Kyle Busch is going to be much higher owned. So if you're just looking for the pivot there, I don't mind going Hamlin. He dominated and won the most recent race here at Vegas. But I am not, as of right now, I'm not getting a ton of Hamlin. Galvin says, what's up, CP, my guy? What's up, Galvin? Always a pleasure to be here and catch up on your content. Appreciate that, Galvin. Thank you guys very much. Should probably turn my phone off and vibrate, put it on silent. Let's see. Dustin says favorite 5K play. Oh, I mean Hendrick overall. Hendrick and Burton would be my two favorite there. And he says contest is full. Yeah, you guys do a great job filling it. I remember last year it was always pretty close on filling it. And that's with 100 people, so we're filling 150 and 200 pretty easily. Robert says Wallace, Kurt, Suarez, Custer, Kyle Busch, and Harvick for tourneys. Yeah, you definitely got some good pivots in there, so I don't think that's a bad play for tourneys. Spruce says, hey, Jules. Suarez, any good? Suarez is fine. Has top 15 upside, $7,000. Not a bad play today. Clay says, any thoughts on Kevin Harvick? Hopefully I already mentioned that. Mass says, 9 lineups out of 90 done so far with Blaney. Oh, I thought you meant you only had 9 lineups done. Like, a long way to go, Mass. You have to bump your Blaney up. You seem a little bit low on your guy. Clint says, dang it, just missed out on the contest again. All good, Clint. It's definitely filling a lot earlier than it was in years prior. Blake says, GP lineup, I've got Larson, Reddick, Byron, and Hendrick looking to fill my last spot with either Bowman or Kurt Busch. What you think? Thanks again for all the time you put in. No problem, Blake. So you have a pretty, I don't want to say contrarian because Hendrick's going to have some decent ownership in Reddick. Well, I would personally go with Kurt there, just raw points wise. Kurt would be my answer. If you're looking for low ownership, Bowman, but raw points, it's going to be Kurt. Franchise says, now we're talking about Chase. He is excellent here. I like Chase quite a bit. The problem is his price point, but Chase is definitely pretty good here. 2 top 5s recently, running position, one of the best in the entire field. Good driver rating. No one's a show for it recently, but I mean, Chase is certainly in play for me. I'm going to try to get like 18+% on Chase Elliott. I'd like to be in the 20s. I'm just not sure how feasible it would be. I might have to drop some of my Larson, but that doesn't feel great to do. But yeah, I'm definitely in on Chase with you. Eric says, you were the man calling Suarez last week. I thought he was going to win the race. That would have been really fun. Unfortunately, that Larson won, but it would just been cool that if Suarez won. David says, how much is acceptable to remain on the table? I mean, close to 1,000. I have one lineup here that's pretty good. That's $1,000 left. You have Buescher, Custer, Hendrick, Kurt Busch, Larson, Byron. That leaves 1,000 on the table. I think that's bad. But a lot of these are using a good chunk of the salary. Yeah, congrats to Jason. That was awesome. Franchise says Chase is going to drive mad. Super play. Yeah, if you guys saw last week, Larson absolutely screwed Chase Elliott. And Elliott was really fast. Pugly says, I'll have to go see the Batman before the race. Good luck, everyone, this week, and see you all next weekend. Hope you enjoy the movie. I heard it's really good. Like, really, really good. Would you consider a rule against no Bell and Larson? Oh, hopefully I answered that. Jonathan says, favorite long shot? To win? To win, I would say... I mean, Bowman's got some pretty big odds to win. I don't think that's a bad Tyler Reddick, Bowman. I can't really see anybody lower than that pulling up a win unless you want to try like a Stenhouse or Chase Briscoe, but I can't see that happening. Jim says, Chris, is it too risky to fade Larson in one lineup and play Bell instead? If you're only playing one lineup today, I'm probably playing Larson. But if you just want to get nuts, you can play Bell, but I'm not going to do it personally. Thoughts on Ty Dillon? Ty Dillon is a good, cheap PD play. I don't think he's going to be anything spectacular, but if he can pull off a top 25, you're not going to complain at $5,600. Spread says, Larson, full fade day, got to gamble. I don't like the chances on that gamble. It seems dangerous. Jason says, thanks for the great NASCAR content week after week. Appreciate that, Jason. Thank you. Thank you guys for being here. Let's see. Probably won't be on here too much longer. About an hour in. Just got another dono. Sean says, how much is typically left on table on FanDuel? Going to try some FanDuel today. So I was looking at some of my builds, and I was seeing around $1,000 to $2,000 left on the table in some builds, which I'm not sure how much I like that, but I was getting more left over than what I anticipated. The thing is, a lot of these guys are pretty cheap over on FanDuel, and it's really easy to get 3 studs plus a Kurt Busch and then a cheap guy like a Haley that I have projected higher than, say, someone that's $2,000 more expensive than him. So I think maybe like 1 to 2,000 is probably the most I'm willing to leave. I wasn't seeing much more than that though, but thank you for the dono, sir. Johnny says, let's get to that. Let's get that cash. Totally agree, Johnny. David says, just gone. Thoughts on Blaney? Blaine's a good play today. Super fast in practice. String 11, $10,500. Certainly a really nice pivot off of Kyle Busch in tournaments for sure. Johnny says, I think Kyle Busch will be 80% owned, kind of like Kurt and someone else in the back of the pivot. Maybe in cash games and tournaments, you're not going to see Kyle Busch 80% owned, but in cash, you might get close to that. Greg says, who are your top few leverage plays? Thanks for everything, CP. No problem, Greg. Always nice to have you in Discord. Leverage plays today, I would say Bowman's up there for me. I believe Reddick's up there. And then William Byron is going to be pretty high owned, but as far as leverage goes, I like sim scores. Byron is pretty over leveraged on that, so I would say Byron too. And then Hendrick's popping for me. Johnny says, Blaney winning today? I wouldn't mind that. You guys know I love Blaney. Mike says, is 25% Brad too much? I would say probably a lot too much. I'm like maybe around 10% on Brad. The price is nice, but no longer in a Penske car, which is the concern. Browns Girl says, just my weekly go Browns. I agree with you. I love the Browns for sure. They give me pain year after year, but I still watch them for some reason. Rocking says, hey Chris, love the content on the channel. Appreciate it. How does this lineup look? Larson, Hamlin, Byron, Hendrick, Jones, and Dillon. Yeah, it's a solid lineup. I like Larson. I like Byron. Hamlin's cheap enough for a dominator. You got Hendrick. Yeah, I think it's a pretty good lineup for sure. Alex says, happy race day, Chris. Happy race day to you as well, Alex. What's your Keselowski exposure look like? Well, hopefully I just answered that when I was answering the one question. So thinking around like 10-ish% is pretty good on Keselowski today. Wayne says, best 4K player with the highest GPP draft, highest GPP. I guess, I mean, all these guys are bad plays. If I had to pick one, I'm probably just going to go with McLeod, but Smithley did finish like P21 last week, but it's not pretty down there. Just pick a name out of a hat and just hope one of them finishes the race. You really can't distinguish much of a difference out of these guys. Thoughts on Alex Bowman? He seems like a similar play to Byron. I don't think he has quite the upside as Byron, but I agree with Bowman in tournaments. I like him a lot. Starting at 13th. Does look like a similar player to Byron. He's about $1,000 cheaper. Hendrick car. I don't think he's going to be as fast, but he definitely has top 5 upside. So I can certainly get on Bowman. $8,700. I think is a great tournament play today. Lowest driver in for GPP. Lowest I'd want to go is Gillen at 5K. Mike says, Bubba or Custer, I have 7K left in this lineup. I would go with Custer there. Just trust him a little bit more, as ugly as that sounds. Time says, if you only have $15 and you have set one winner lineup for tournaments, what would your 6 drivers be? Well, I can't give out a lineup. Albert says, Larson, both Busch bros, Ty Dillon, LaJoie, and Jones in cash. Thoughts? So I'm playing Larson in cash. I'm playing Kyle Busch, playing Kurt Busch. LaJoie and Ty Dillon. Well, LaJoie is kind of the iffy one there for cash. If you could maybe get down to like a Haley and then like a, let me see what else we got. Maybe like a Haley and a Buescher. You might be able to fit in like a 6 to 7K driver. Maybe play around with that a little bit. What's up, Doug? Nice to have you here. Any Biffle love this week? Asks my wrench, Mr. Dude. I don't love Biffle. I have like 6 to 8% Biffle. He's starting P26. If he was starting a little bit further back, I'd like him more, but I'm not really sure what to expect out of the 44 car, to be honest. Albert says, oh, I already answered that. Cody says, how many prize picks locks today? Well, every time I look at it on prize picks, they wreck, so I'm not going to call them a lock, but as far as guys I like Busch over 47.5. I like Byron over 54.5, and I like Larson's over on the lap sled at like 59, I think. Bernie says on Twitter that Kyle Busch backup car, they had to paint over Harvick's name, Hamlin's name. Can we start a narrative that Harvick wrecks him. It was Hamlin's name, though, Harvick. So, but if you want to do the same narrative, sure. But I don't think Hamlin's going to wreck his teammate. Tito says, "Who's your price pick so I can play the opposite?" That's been working well. Hopefully they don't wreck today. Hopefully. According to Bob Pockras, there's no further inspections today. So we're just fully good to go. Sounds good to me. Thank you, Andy. Dude says, General Info, Cup green flag, 349. Yeah. To the rear, Kyle Busch, but he's already in the rear. Hopefully nobody asks me if Kyle Busch going to the rear is make me change my mind because he's already in the rear. Don says, Larson, Logano, Austin Dillon, Santos, Briscoe, Hemrick. Okay, I feel like I'm guessing for tournaments. That is definitely for tournaments. Definitely some low-end guys there, but I think it's a decent mixture for sure. Is Ty Dillon in a lawnmower? I'm not sure if you could call it a lawnmower considering his teammate was like the best car in the field last week, but it's a decent ride compared to some down low. I don't think it sucks. Cody says, favorite play under 6,100 for DraftKings GPP. Ooh, favorite play under? Well, just projection-wise, I believe Buescher and Custer are going to be the top two there. I would go Buescher. It's going to be chalky, but I'd stroll with that. Bernie says, Don, everybody in the end is just straight guessing for tournaments. One wreck during the race is going to upset everything like it does every week. That's a fair statement. Spread says, $1 Million Man is here. Sean, yep. Always nice to have Mr. Seven Figures here. Did I hit on Biffle? Oh, you mean like that I talk about him? Yeah, I mean I have like 5 to 8% Biff. It's nothing too much. The price is low. I'm just not sure how much to trust this team. Biffle sure wreck. Certainly could. Mass says, how do I only have 2 Hamlin lines? I'm not getting much to Hamlin either. I definitely have more than 2 Hamlin lines. It's just so hard to click on his name when you have Byron right there. You have Kyle Busch, Blaney. He's definitely a hard guy to get to just because of that. Filling in my last spot, $8,300. Eric Almirola or Ross Chastain. Oh boy, I would probably go with Eric Almirola there. Just trust him a little bit more. Not that I really trust him more. He's just starting 2 spots further back. And he hasn't been terrible to start the year. Jim says for value plays, Hemrick, Haley, and Biffle. I'm definitely on Hemrick and Haley. They're not huge on Biffle, but Hemrick and Haley I can get behind. K Diddy says hit that like button, homie. That would definitely help me out. Do appreciate it. Probably going to wrap this up pretty soon. So if you have any dire last second questions, please let me know. Try to answer them before I get out of here, and then I'll be over on the Awesemo Live before lock at 2:30 if you have any more questions. I believe Phil is hosting, so that'll be new. No Jason this weekend. Theo says, 8,500 left on DraftKings for the big GPP. Who would be your go-to? Oh, gosh. That's not a good range to be in. $8,500 left. Let's see what the projections say. 30, 8,500 bucks. I guess Keselowski would be my highest projected guy there. I don't love Kes today, but him and Bell are right there. I'd probably lean towards Keselowski if you already have like a Larson. We have about 400 people in here. It's awesome. Thank you. Unless I'm reading it wrong. I think it's right. Bernie says, I tailed Chris straight up last week and finished 39th in the DK main. Oh, jeez. Sure, it was a 141 weight tie, but can't complain about 1,100%. That's awesome, Bernie. It's awesome. Hopefully you can do something like that again. Chase says Bowman over Kurt Busch. In tournaments, sure. If you're playing cash, no. Mundo says, who do you take, Wallace, Hemrick, or Haley? I would take Haley overall. Alex says, Bengals will win the Super Bowl next year. I hope not. I'm a Browns fan. But trust me, I have no hope for my Browns anymore. I don't care how good the team's on paper. They hurt my feelings every year. Paper says I got 20% Gillen as a pump play in tournaments. Talk me off of him. I won't talk you off of playing Gillen, but I can probably try to talk you off of having 20%. Seems a bit much. Maybe throw some more over on LaJoy, McDowell, Ty Dillons of the world. Where are we at? Dakota says, would you run Bell, Larson the same line? I'm not doing it a lot. I'm not making a rule to where it doesn't happen, but I'm building like a single entry. I'm not going to do that. I think Larson can overtake Bell pretty early. And if it's not Larson, it could be someone else that's fast too, like a Chase or Joey or like any of those guys. I think Bell will be fast. I think he has a good overall real life race. I'm just not sure starting the pole for DFS is going to be great for him. Unless he can lead a good chunk of stage one. Bernie says, gotta be honest, I don't know much about NASCAR. I started the basics. Not even a NASCAR fan, but I like to make a lineup and go head-to-head against my coworkers that are huge fans and beat them down. It's always fun beating your friends. Always fun beating your friends. Part of the fun. Wayne says, Haley, Wallace, Ty Dillon, Burton. Who do I have? I would go with Haley there. Alex says, Brad, $8,400. Is Larson going to the back? Is he? If there's news on Larson going to the back, let me know. But I think we've learned that shouldn't sway our judgment. Because I know a lot of people saying something about fading Larson after going to the rear, and I was like, it doesn't really affect too much going to the rear. I dropped his potential downer points a little bit, but I was still playing a lot of Larson. But I don't think he's going to the back. Andrew says, see you at 2:30. Yeah, see you guys there. Kevin says, I was leaning Byron over Blaney because of Blaney pit crew. Got me thinking, though. Oh, I'll take Byron over Blaney. I'll take him all day over Blaney. Not that Blaney's a bad play, but I just love Byron today. I think like Byron should be close to 11K, to be honest. You're welcome, Chase. Marcus says, Baker. Don't worry, I have the Bears. Yeah. Straight pain there. Straight pain. Jim says, thoughts on Wallace today? Not huge on Wallace. I mean, he's cheap. Starting 17th, he has top 15 upside for sure, but I'm having a hard time to get to a lot of Bubba. I have like around 14, 15%. Ty Dillon or Chris Buescher? I'll take Buescher there. Higher finishing position upside. Dakota says, where's the best place to go to get news of drivers going to the back? If you follow Bob Pockras on Twitter, he is like the one NASCAR reporter that actually tweets stuff for us. Jeff Gluck is good too, but Bob Pockras is on it. Like I have a bot for him in Discord. He just gives us all the information because he's like the only one I trust, really. I'm on Twitter right now trying to see if I missed anything. There's some propaganda that Larson was going for the rear. I just want to double check that that's not true. I don't see anything. Okay. Cody says, I got $7,000 left. Should I dip down and take Buescher? Yeah, I like Buescher a lot today. No problem with that. Dude says, any love for the ex-lawnmower man? Suarez, just a little bit. Not as much as I liked him last week, just because of ownership reasons and just pricing. It's a little bit different than last week. But starting 21st, top 15 upside for sure. Obviously didn't really do much in practice, but $7,000 starting 21st. If he gets you a top 15, you're looking at a pretty decent day over on DraftKings. And sorry if you can hear a motorcycle in the background. My new neighbors have a motorcycle, and it's kind of annoying. Wayne says, Eric Jones, Custer, or Ty Dillon. I would take Eric Jones there. Any 4K plays I like, asked Jack. So loud. Any 4K plays you like? No. I don't like any of those guys. I would really try to get to just a couple more $100 for Gilliland or LaJoy. Yeah, I didn't see anything either. Maybe it was a tweet from last weekend. I know sometimes that gets people. They see an old tweet. Rank for cash. Buescher, Hendrick, Ty Dillon. I would say just the order you have it. I mean, it's pretty close. Pretty close on Ty Dillon and Hendrick for cash, but I just like Hendrick a little bit more. Julian says, I think that was the Lambo this time. Yeah, there's a Lambo that's really loud here. I couldn't see it, though. Might have been. You're welcome, Johnny. Larson to the rear is fake news. Well, that's good to know. Reddick or Kurt? I would go with Kurt there, straight up. Just a little bit safer. But if you were looking for a potential dominator in your lineup, Reddick would be the guy there, but overall, I'd take Kurt. Milan says Harvick or Kurt Busch. I would take Kurt Busch there. Eric says, is Cole Custer and Ty Dillon? Or asking to pick, I guess, Custer and Ty Dillon or Custer and Buescher. I would take Custer and Buescher there. One spot left, Jones or Custer or Suarez. I'll go with Eric Jones there. I have watched Larson to win line move from plus 350 down to plus 332 in the last 20 minutes. Yeah, I don't think that's, I didn't see anything either. I got Bob's Twitter up. Yeah, something about a tweet up. I think I've officially caught up to the chat, so if you don't have any more questions, I can probably get out of here. I'll take a sip of water, but if you don't have any more questions, I'll probably go and relax before the Awesemo live stream. Got about an hour, about 2 hours until that's live. Is Dylan Larson's old car? I know it's the same number, but it's not. It's a Petty car. Same team as Eric Jones. Custer or Buescher for single entry? I would go with Chris Buescher there. Yeah, it's the same number, Eric. Yeah, Larson was with Chip Ganassi. He is no longer in the sport, and it's now a Petty car. Petty GMS, Ty Dillon and Eric Jones. Good luck, everyone, catching the Discord. Yeah, we'll see everybody that's in the Discord there right after this. Who am I going to be most overweight on relative to projected ownership? Byron today. I'm just going to be very deep in on Byron. If he wrecks, so be it. But I'm going to try to take a stance on Byron today. RJ says, if fading Larson in GPP, who's your dominator? Who would you build with, Bell or Cindric? I mean, if I was fading Larson, I'm probably getting to more Bell for sure. But as far as who I'm going to bump up as an expensive driver, I'm getting to more Chase, getting to more Blaney, and kind of like more Reddick. Guys that can lead early on for sure. Easy says, hit the like on the way out. Yeah, I appreciate that. I don't know how many we have, but that'd be nice. LaJoy or Gilliland? I will go with Gilliland. Eric says, good luck today, everyone. See you at 2:30. Yep, see you at 2:30, Eric. Marcus says, hey, thank you for the live stream. I'll go get that money. Totally agree, Marcus. Wish you the best of luck today. Do I like Bowman? Yes, I like Bowman a lot in tournaments. Not going to go there in cash, but do like him in tournaments. 3 drivers for $7,400. Jones, Custer, and Buescher would be my favorite, under $7,400. Alex says, final word on Kyle Busch's car. Be confident in him and the car. I downgraded his projected finish a little bit, but I am not overly concerned about Kyle Busch in that car. I think he's a cash game lock. Tournaments, not a must play, but there's some good pivots out there, but I'm still going to have a decent chunk of Kyle. Should be fine. And you're welcome. Is Kyle Busch a must for cash? I would say yes. Trying to blitz through these questions really quick. Andy says, good luck today. May your lineups be in your favor. Yeah, hopefully. Need some luck. No right turns today, as the dude would say. I think I got out of here. Appreciate everyone that donated. You should leave a like, subscribe. If you want to join the Discord, you know where to do that. Thanks for filling the contest, and I will see you all next week.